So Joe Biden sat down with the BBC and really dropped a bombshell about his 2024 exit. And spoiler alert, he is still in denial about reality. He is in denial about what happened during the 2024 election. He said he doesn't think it would have mattered if he dropped out earlier because he believes he was doing so well as a president. His presidency was so successful. How could he drop out? No. The reality was is you spent the last 60 years of your life trying to become president, and you finally got there and you didn't want to give it up, and I get it. If you get onto power, who wouldn't want to let go of it like that? But then he went on to say, I don't think it mattered when I left the election race. Really, Joe? Really? You really think you were that successful a president? Do you really live in that deep of an echo chamber? Let's just take a listen to all this.
Did you leave it too late? Should you have withdrawn earlier, given someone else a bigger chance?
I don't think it would have mattered. We left at a time when we had a good candidate. She was fully funded, and what happened was I had become what we had set out to do. No one thought we could do, and become so successful in our agenda. It was hard to say, "No, I'm going to stop now." I meant what I said when I started. That I think I'm prepared to hand this to the next generation. It's a transition government. But things move so quickly that it made it difficult to walk away, it was a hard decision. But
regrets, though?
No, I think it was the right decision. I think that it was just a difficult decision.
But you shouldn't have taken it earlier.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know how that would have made much difference.
Wow, Joe, really? You think your presidency was so great, you couldn't walk away from it? That's what you have to say? Tell me you're in denial without telling me you're in denial. Because let's rewind. Biden withdrew his candidacy back in July, like 21st or something like that, after a horrible, disastrous debate against Donald Trump on CNN on like June 27th. And that debate was the turning point. That was the turning point. Biden struggled to focus. The polls show that close to 80% of voters were worried about his age by early 2024. He withdrew his candidacy after this terrible debate with Donald Trump, after the media had been feeding us lies for years, saying that, out in public, that's just how Joe is. But behind the cameras, when the cameras aren't on, he's sharp as a tack. He's sharp as he's ever been. Joe Biden's doing handstands and cartwheels behind closed doors. That's what they tried to tell us. And then he went and laid a turd on the debate stage on June 27th. And after that debate, pressure just mounted. They turned on him. After the mainstream media had been covering up for him for years, they turned on him. Because he basically exposed how corrupt they were, that they were lying, how terrible it was. And they put this pressure on him for Biden to drop out and endorse Kamala Harris as the Democrat nominee. But ultimately, that was not enough to stop Donald Trump from winning in November. It wasn't enough. And the fact is that Biden dropped out and he didn't even want to endorse Kamala. He didn't. Barack Obama didn't want her. Nancy Pelosi didn't want her. Chuck Schumer didn't want her. Hakeem Jeffries didn't want her. Nobody wanted Kamala Harris on the Democrat side. From the recent books that have come out talking about the 2024 election, say that Kamala Harris basically had to beg Biden for the endorsement. And now Biden is trying to claim that his exit timing didn't really matter because it was such a successful presidency. He was such a successful president. But the reality was the numbers tell a completely different story. Donald Trump won in 2024 due to the fact that voter frustration over inflation, the border crisis, and you have to agree there was an anti-incumbent wave that went around the world. But ultimately it was inflation, the economy, the border crisis, and the fact that basically nobody wanted Biden because they didn't think he was alive. They just did not think he was there. You are not winning all of these states. You're just not. You don't win all the swing states here. If it was such a successful presidency, you just don't. You just don't do it. And Trump would have obliterated Biden. Whether it was Biden, Harris, or whoever, Trump would have obliterated them. No matter when Biden stepped down, whether it was the day before or a year before. The writing was on the wall. You know, the only thing that would have made Biden halfway cognitively capable of coming to any sort of rational thoughts in his head was knowing the fact that Donald Trump was going to crush him in 2024. That was it. Biden is delusional. This guy blaming the media for giving him airtime, suggesting the people that prosecuted his son were corrupt, suggesting prosecuting those who hid this mental decline. And he's just so out of touch with voters. He's so out of touch with voters and why voters turned against Democrats in 2024. His denial ignores reality, the real issues, economic struggles, dissatisfaction with his administration. And that is what handed Donald Trump this victory. But it also raises the question, who in the Democrat Party is taking accountability for this? Biden's not taking accountability. He's stuck in the past while the country is forced to move forward with the terrible policies we were left by his administration. Obviously, Donald Trump is doing a lot with that, but still, he did a lot of damage. So what do you think? Do you think Joe Biden is in denial about the 2024 election? Or is he just trying to point out his legacy? Let me know your thoughts. Drop your thoughts down below in the comments. We would love to hear from you. And as always, drop down below, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you never miss another video from us again in the future. And we will catch you next time.